Like I said, I do want to thank everybody that tuned into the Queen Speaks podcast. I am recording on my Facebook. I mean, not my Facebook. I'm recording on my YouTube channel, The Queen Speaks, and on my podcast, which is actually a podcast now. So if you just want to see my face, because a lot of people just hit me up to say, hey, you're beautiful. And I appreciate that. I do. But I'm going to need y'all to stop inboxing me nonsense. I really am. This girl recently inboxed me and was like, oh my God, are you straight? Girl, I'm as straight as they come. Don't be coming at me like that, okay? I love y'all, and then y'all can be who y'all want to be, but I don't have to be that with y'all, okay? So just know I appreciate y'all. I love y'all, so thank y'all for tuning into the official debut of the Queen Speaks podcast. I am excited. I really do appreciate y'all, and I thank y'all so very much. When my phones are about to die is when we will end the podcast. So I'm going to try to do a half hour, like 30 minutes. I've already been talking for maybe 5 minutes. So I'm going to try to do another 25 minutes. You guys, like I said, are welcome to talk. You're welcome to say what you need to say or what you want to say to me. And even if you don't, listening to me talk is awesome because y'all know I love to talk. And my kids, they're getting older, so they don't want to talk to me, but it's all right. I love them anyway. They're awesome too. Oh, but yes, that's what I was trying to tell you. I'm very, very, very excited. Show It Well Publications has signed another person, and she is coming out. Her name is Anita. She is coming out with a book about her family life, her family structure, and how her family was one of the first families freed from slavery in Maryland. And they basically let their slave owners know if they freed them, then they would not only go to college, they would make sure all their children went to college, and they did so and such. And she wanted to do a story on it because she thought it was an amazing story. I think it's an amazing story. I don't think we should have been slaves in the first place, but I think the fact that they freed them just for them to go to school is an awesome concept, and I'm just glad that she is doing a story on it, and I'm glad she's doing it with Show It Well Publications. So, you know, we're doing bigger things than we think, and that's one thing I wanted to talk to you about too. When you think that you are not reaching anyone or touching anyone or making a difference in anyone's life, trust me that you are. Your voice is meant to be heard. Even if it's just meant to be heard by your children, you're making a difference for them, which hopefully in turn they will turn around and make a difference for someone else. So please keep saying that old spiritual, say whatever you got to say. Just make sure your voice is heard. God gave us all a voice to be heard, and use it. That's what it's there for, you know? So for all those people that be like, oh my God, she talks so much. Yes, I do. And I know you love my voice. And even if you don't, oh well, you're listening to me anyway. So I appreciate you for listening to me and tuning in to me. I did do the first commercial for the podcast in the beginning of January. And I thought that I was actually going to do the podcast in the beginning of January, but I figured I would start it in the beginning of February once I got comfortable and actually talk, because someone told me doing a podcast, no one else can talk, but that's not true. I figured out a way that you guys can talk and I can hear you some type of way. I know what I'm going to do differently with this is at the end of every single podcast, I am going to say a prayer and wish everyone well, and normally I just tell you guys I love you to bunches and bunches, but no, I'm actually going to do a prayer because life is short. It's shorter than it is long. And just what happened on Sunday to Kobe and his family and all the other families that were on the plane shows you that life is short. You have made plans for yourself. However, God has made a plan for you. And I keep trying to tell you, live in God's plan, not your plan. And this is why people tell me, oh, Queen, you poorly plan. I don't plan nothing. Okay? God tells me what to do and I get it done. If he want me to do it half the way, I'm going to do it half the way. He want me to do it all the way, I'm going to do it all the way. But I'm going to do what God is telling me to do. And in a few minutes, God is telling me to get my butt in the bed and go to sleep and let this chicken cook all night. And then in the morning, put some barbecue sauce on it with a little bit of drizzle of honey and call it dinner for Friday night. That's what God is telling me for that one, okay? But no, you guys, I hear that all the time, oh, I'm planning this or I'm going to do this. if it's not in God's plan for you, whether you believe in him or not, it won't happen. It won't happen, you know? So all the little small things that people who love you, that you're arguing about for no reason, and it makes absolutely no sense, stop it. Life is short. It's very, very short. You can literally get up, get dressed. You could take a bath, slip and fall on your way into the tub, hit your head and drown in the tub. Like, you don't even have to make it. You could brush your teeth and somebody can walk into the bathroom and scare you. You could accidentally choke yourself on your toothbrush. Life is short, okay? Very short. You know what I'm saying? So it's time to let go of the nonsense. I don't know if you guys heard about it, but my 15-year-old, she's like the smartest thing I ever met. She's been telling me about the coronavirus, how it started in China and now it's spreading. So she's trying to make us pack up our stuff to move to Greenland. So if we move to Greenland, I need y'all not to move there with us, because I found out there's no real people there because it's so cold. So we're going to be the only people in Greenland. She told me today that we need to get some water and some canned stuff and be on our way to Greenland because it's so cold. Diseases die there. So I'm not going to run to Greenland just yet. I need to see a couple more cases over here in the U.S. before I leave. But I'm a homebody. I'm always home. So, yeah, it probably won't get to me. But my 11-year-old loves school to death. So if it ever came here, I think she would be rushing to school, and she might be one of them people. So I don't know. I don't want to lock her out, but I will if I got to. But no, my job showed me how fast diseases travel. When I started working, I wasn't sick. Within 11 days of that job, the people in there coughing and snotting and sneezing and wiping their hands on they like they ain't grown, wiping their hands on everything and wiping their nose with oh God, they got me so sick that the queen literally had to overdose on NyQuil and Dayquil and stay in bed for a whole day. I couldn't eat nothing. I just had medicine, tea, and because of my mommy, I had chicken noodle soup with pepper. Okay, yes, extra pepper in your chicken noodle soup. And for those that don't know how to make a can of chicken noodle soup, let me be clear. You open the can of chicken noodle soup, you pour it into a pot. You take the empty can, you fill the empty can with water. You pour that water into the pot and you turn the pot on. Do not just pour the soup out of the can into the pot and turn the pot on. That is not how you make chicken noodle soup. I don't know what you're making, but that is not chicken noodle soup, okay? And according to my mommy, you add a couple sprinkles of pepper and maybe a little bit of sprinkle of garlic and help yourself get better. And then you get into bed under your covers with your hot tea with lemon, sugar, and honey, or just lemon and honey. But me personally, I do lemon, sugar, and honey. And if you really want to get well quickly, you put a splash of E&J or Hennessy or something dark in there. Yeah, it makes your cold sweat you out really quickly, and it's really good. It's really, really good. You forget you just ate a can of soup and you're just a little tipsy enough to go to sleep and get better. So get better. For those who, like I said, have not heard about the coronavirus, it is a virus that started in China. The people in China that actually have it, they had them in quarantine, and some of them actually ran away. So they're trying to find them. It's weird. I don't know what's going on. But it's actually over here in the U.S. now. Even though it started in China, it's in the U.S. So just make sure you're protecting yourself and keeping yourself safe and holding on to your loved ones. Like I said, life is short and nobody is promised tomorrow. Okay? And like I said, say a prayer for Kobe's wife. Not only did she lose her husband, she lost her 13-year-old daughter. All her daughters lost their sister, you know. So, and there was an actual whole entire family, husband, wife, and daughter on that plane. It was 2 sisters on the plane. So it wasn't just Kobe. So we can't just pray for just Kobe. We need to pray for everyone that was on that plane. And they weren't the only people to pass away that day. So that's why I say I pray for everyone all the time. Because just because we're only affected by a certain person doesn't mean there aren't other people affected in the tragedy. You understand what I'm saying? Other people were definitely affected. and they're hurting and they're crying. And I did a blog on that, and I actually mentioned all of their names. I don't know all of their names off of heart, but I wish I did. But like I said, just say a prayer for all of them, because people lost their mothers, their sisters, their brothers, their fathers. Those 9 people on that plane belonged to some people, okay? And they were loved. It wasn't just Kobe and his daughter. What else did I want to talk about? Saying what you need to say. Listen, my mama told me, and she tells me this all the time, and I always be like, no, I don't have to do that. She keeps telling me to save something to tell God. And now that I'm 40 years old, I understand what she means. So I'm going to tell all of y'all, everything is not always to be said. Some things should go unsaid. Okay? So save something to tell God. Yes, speak your mind. Yes. Yes, tell it like it is. Yes. Yes, be upfront. Yes. Yes, be real. Yes. But everything is not for everybody. You feel what I'm saying? Everything is not to always be said out there in the world. You understand me? Some things you need to say to yourself. Hold on to that thought with your whole being. Okay? Hold on to it. And save that to tell God when you get to where you are going. Everything ain't for everybody. And as we're kids, and I say this all the time, as we're kids, we always say, and I'm going to tell you the dumbest thing we've said in our lives is, I can't wait to be grown. Because I'm going to tell you like this. I've never said, I can't wait to be grown. I've never said it. But I always said, you know what? When I grow up, I'm going to do this. When I grow up, I'm going to do this. I done grown up and I ain't did none of that. Okay? I can't afford to. And as a parent, I understand now. You can't afford to. You can say what you want when you're growing up, okay? And one thing I don't get as a parent, children who actually have their parents, even though they have both parents, sometimes they only depend on one parent, and it's weird. Because we're supposed to depend on both of our parents. I'm going to give y'all an example. A friend of mine told me how her daughter had such an attitude with her. Her daughter clearly said, you know what, Mom? Just give me my school money and I'm going to go about my life. And my friend had to look at her daughter. What school money do you have? What school money do you think? She said, well, you didn't save me any school money. She said, well, did your father save you some school money? And her daughter just looked absolutely crazy. Well, my father ain't got no job. Okay, well, maybe the fact that he has children, he should have a job. So I need y'all children to understand, as mothers, we do everything we can for you. Everything. But don't cross the line of feeling like we got to do everything under the sun. And okay, example, because I keep trying to tell you, I lead by example, my own life. My oldest daughter is upset with me right now. And yes, I know y'all think I'm the best mom on earth. Thank you so much, I know. But she's upset with me right now because her thing is, Mom, you know, I wish that I could just come and get in your bed and you move so far away. My life is my life. I have to go where I want to be happy. I can't sit and wait for you as a 23-year-old grown person and say, okay, well, my daughter wants me to be here, so I can't have no life because she don't want me to. That's not how life works. And children, I need y'all to understand that just because you are a child does not mean you can dictate how your parents live. And I had to learn that the hard way myself. But no matter where my mother goes, she's always going to be my mother. No matter where your mother goes, she's always going to be your mother. No matter where I go in the world, I'm always going to be her chocolate baby. Wherever my kids go, they always going to be whatever baby I call them. You understand what I'm saying? And my littlest one is my chocolate baby. My middle 15-year-old, she's my smarty pants. My son is my Prince Nas. And my oldest daughter is my Bree Bird. So they're always going to be that in my eyes. But in their own eyes, they could be whomever they choose to be. But that's who they're going to be. And anytime they're mad at me, they're still going to be that. No matter how old they get. So appreciate your parents, y'all. You're like, at the end of the day, appreciate what they give you because it's a sacrifice. Some parents don't even want to be parents. When I was growing up, I knew this girl and she had her son. I think she was like 15, 16 when she had her son. But I can't say anything because I was 16 when I had my daughter, going on 17. And when she had her son, and when her son turned 2, she got tired of being a mom. So she dropped her son off at her grandma's house and she never went back. So just because you are a parent, or just because you are a child, does not mean your parent had to take care of you or had to raise you. Should they have taken care of you? Yes. Should they have raised you? Yes. Should they have been there for you? Yes. As a parent, they should have. But some parents get tired of the situation and just say, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to just drop you off because I'm tired of being a parent. So don't get mad at the parent that stayed. Okay? Because everybody has a choice. No parent actually had to stay. I mean, there are actually organizations that have signs on the wall that say safe haven. If you don't want your child, drop them off. So be appreciative that your parent took the time to care enough to stay with you, keep you, clothe you, feed you, house you, educate you, love you the best way that they knew how. And that's all that matters. So all that petty bickering, I keep trying to explain. Life is short. Extremely short. Like I said, not only did Kobe's wife, Vanessa, lose her husband, she lost her 13-year-old child. And I can't even imagine that feeling. Okay? I just told you guys, my smarty pants, my brainiac, my 15-year-old, on Christmas Day, she lost one of her best friends. And that's just her friend. So I can't even imagine what that 15-year-old child's mother and father are going through. You feel me? So just know that life is short, and whatever plans we make, it's not up to us to make the plans. We can write them down and set them as goals, but it's not up to us. God makes the final decision. Because you can wake up on Friday and say, oh, it's payday. I'm about to go play, go do in the street. And before you walk out the door, you can get struck down by anything. Or you step out the door and go to head in your car and another car crashes and kills you. So you can make whatever plans you want. But if it's not in God's plan for you, it's not gonna happen. I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, so we got to start appreciating the people that are there. We got to start appreciating the situations and pray every day. I pray every day, and prayer is for everyone. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to be in church to pray. Let me say it that way. You don't have to be in church to pray. I pray getting out my bed. I pray going to the bathroom. I pray heading down the steps. I pray getting in my car, turning it on, because you just never know. You just never know. So don't make it seem like, oh, I prayed when I went to church on Sunday. That don't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. You have to pray every day, okay? No matter where you are, no matter who you are. Let's see, what else did I want to talk about? That's one thing I do like about this doing a podcast, an actual podcast. Oh, and my podcast will be on Spotify, Amazon, and something else. I'll let you know. I'll let you guys know the next podcast I do. Where it's all going to be, but it definitely will be on Spotify. Oh, SoundCloud. So it'll be everywhere, and I'm going to share it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm going to share it everywhere. So The Queen Speaks is now not only a YouTube channel, which I am on my YouTube, so you guys will be able to see me as well as hear me, but it will definitely be a actual podcast too. And I love the podcast because nobody can interrupt me. You can connect and you can listen, and I think I can hear your noises, but I can't hear what you're saying. So it's all about what I got to say. And I keep trying to tell y'all the Queen loves to talk and talk some more. But every time I do a podcast, it will be about 30 minutes. And if y'all want to give me topics, y'all can inbox me. Y'all can comment. If y'all want to comment on my podcast, please, I will be listening. What else? That's really about it. I'm going to be live for another 5-6 minutes. Like I said, I'm only going to do 30 minutes. But I wanted to tell y'all, life is short and nobody can live it for you. Nobody should be able to make your decisions. Nobody should be able to tell you what to do, where to go, how to do it, how to speak it, how to walk it, how to talk it. It has to be you making the decisions for yourself. And I learned that the hard way with my son when he went to the Marines. I told him, hell no, you won't go. And he's a Marine. And he actually is doing well and is selling and doing what he wants to do. But my husband made me understand that if I make a decision for my son and it does not go, and his life does not go where I want it to go, my son could actually blame me that his life is not where it is supposed to be or where he wants it to be because I made that decision for him. So I let my son know at 18, I will not sign you over to Uncle Sam. However, if at 18 you want to sign yourself into the Marines, you can do so. And at 18, that is what he did. And now he's about to be 21 and he just got promoted to a corporal in the Marines. So I'm so proud of him for living his truth, living his dream, living his reality, and being the best him he could be. And I had to learn as a mom, I can't make all the decisions for my children, even if I feel like I should be able to. You know, I don't walk a mile in their shoes. They are amazing children, but I do not walk a mile in their shoes. I have educated them enough, and I need to make sure, and that's one thing as a parent you need to do. Make sure that you have educated your child enough that they know what's right and what's wrong. And as long as you have done that, you have done your job, and you just have to trust that they are living the life that they want to live the way they want to live it as good people in the world. Okay. So, I know it's hard for some mothers like myself, who's a mother. We just have to make sure our children makes the right decisions. And honestly, once your child turns 21, they are officially growner than grown. 18, they're grown, but 21, they are growner than grown. So anything after that, if they have a problem with something that you're doing or they have a problem with whatever the case may be, it's on them. It's on them. You do not live to make them happy. You have to live for your own happiness. You have to live to make yourself smile. You have to live to make yourself happy. And that is just what it is in life. We do the best we can as parents. And if our children do not appreciate it at that time, when they get older, trust me, they will come back and apologize because they will go through similar things with their children. And if they don't have children, they will go through the similar things, period. When I lived in New York, I kept trying to tell my children we had to move because living in New York was too hard and it cost too much. And my children, oh my God, my friends, oh. And now my daughter at 23 is like, okay, I need to leave New York because it is expensive. I'm working just to pay rent. So even if they don't understand what we're going through when we're going through it, they understand when they get a little bit older. So just know that you're doing the best that you can as a parent, as a person, just as an individual. And that's all that matters. As long as you're doing the best you can, no one can never say that you didn't try, that you didn't put your best foot forward, that you weren't the best you that you can be. But at the end of the day, even being the best you have to be the best you for you. Not for your children, but for you. And that's just what that is. Your happiness. When you lay down at night, your children don't lay down with you. When you go get in the shower at night, they're not in there washing your back, okay? So even though we want to be the best parents, you have to be the best person you can be.
Preach, girl.
Oh, I can hear you guys on the podcast. Hey, boo!
Hey, baby.
Yay! I love it. I didn't think I could hear you guys on the podcast because people didn't.
I was trying to mute it, but it wouldn't allow me. It has to record.
Oh, that is beautiful. Well, you know what? I cannot wait for the podcast to get bigger and then it'll be 1,000 people talking to me at one time. That will work. But you know, I appreciate you. Yes.
Hey, girl. How are you?
Oh.
Hey, Rogelio.
Hey, what's going on? Love the podcast.
Oh.
Yeah.
The Queen Speaks podcast is officially family oriented. It's my mommy and my hubby and my bestie. Oh, I'm so excited. See? And tonight's topic was all about family. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. I love it. I love it. Well, you guys, like I said, The Queen Speaks is no longer just a YouTube channel. It is a podcast and a YouTube channel. And I will be doing 30 minutes every other day. So every 3 days, I'll be doing 30 minutes. So this is the first official podcast. It'll be on Spotify. It'll be on SoundCloud, and it'll be on Amazon. I need y'all to tune into the Queen Speaks, because that's one thing y'all know I do is talk and talk and talk some more. And I'm going to keep telling y'all the real, and I'm going to keep giving y'all insight and enlightenment, and I'm going to pray that you all listen and take heed to what I got to say. And remember this, each one teach one, and don't stop until you at least reach one. And that's my 30 minutes. I love all of y'all to life.
I love you, baby.
We love you more.
Yay.
Love you more.
Deuces, y'all.
Love you, baby.
Oh, beautiful. Official first podcast. Official first podcast. Get it, y'all. The Queen Speaks. Deuces. Love you to life. Mwah.